Good morning, everyone. Kind of weird, right? Holiday in the middle of the week. It's like, wish it wasn't, but it is what it is. Next year. All right. So before the holiday, we had a little breakout set up, which is right around here. This is what we were looking at pre-market. Um, and this, you want to take note of this. I would suggest you print out this chart, capture it. This is like what I would refer to as a money bar. You can see it's a 15-minute chart. Like whatever, scroll back, look at it on a 5-minute. But anyway, the concept is you've got a setup. Any setup, of course, can work or not work. But when you get I don't know, money bar is one way of saying it because it has a high probability of going in the direction that it reverses. But when it flips down under a bar or two like that and comes right back up again, I don't think I've ever seen one fail. And so that started this nice rally that happened, the half day. So now markets have come up to what we call, well, it's different markets. Looking at futures here, up to what we call minor resistance. It was going sideways, was in an uptrend, looked like it could break out. It didn't. News that it happened, major support there, and it bounces, and now at resistance. So it's going to stall, which it has. So now we'll see what it does. Does it chop around here? Can it eventually break out or does it go back down? Whatever it's going to do, who knows? But as far as the long trade goes, for the moment, until something new sets up, don't bother with it. You know, you see, look to the left here, resistance, it's stalled and so on. And there's better things. So I said catch up trades. Now I'm looking, see what's happening on social media here because I think it's streaming. I finally got this computer back. Spent a good part of the day setting it up yesterday, but I don't see anything happening there. Anyway, let's hope it is. So, other markets. Same story here. NASDAQ, MAGs. I mentioned MAGs pre-market and, Qs and spiders, and they outperformed. And so while we don't have that clear minor resistance area like we do in the S&P 500, you do have some resistance there. It's stalled. Similar pattern here. It's what it's doing. And so same analysis as to, expectations. Is it going to deal with this? Can it go higher? Whatever it's going to do. I know, Alex, right? I mean, markets have held up. I mean, they bounced off of here, technical bounce off of this major support level. Holiday, seasonality, Christmas rally, call it whatever you want. Window dressing, markets went up and basically it was like interest rates going up. Big deal. Well, it is a big deal. We'll see what happens as we get into next year. And so we can see that right here. You can see the 10-year, moving even higher, dollar going up. And those things are relative, depending on the market environment. In this market environment, we view it as being a negative. And just generally speaking, interest rates going higher, 5-year, 2-year, short-term interest rates going higher. This is intermediate term 10. It's like, okay, people start to think, oh, I can get 4% short-term bonds secure. Why am I going to go risk my money in the stock market? That's been going up as it has for the last couple of years. Valuations, if you're looking at that on the S&P 500, they're at extremes. Hey, let me go park my money somewhere and see what happens here. So, that's one of the negatives as far as that goes. But I mentioned this last week that we've got these interest rates moving up as they are. We see they're coming up to a significant resistance area. They're in there, so we'll see what they're going to do looking at the weekly chart. But we've got transports having collapsed. And so the idea of catch-up trades, we'll look at some transports as the day progresses. I know some of the rails have been collapsed, but this is where we could see some rotation. We don't see what this is doing pre-market. Just got these dots here, but this is extended to the downside, wide range bar ending, major support, down here, give or take. It was up, clearly severely underperformed on Friday, but maybe a little sideways action here, and we've got a little bit of a void to go up here. So this is of interest. In addition, what else underperformed? Well, a few things. Regional banks. And so it looks like they're a little bit lower this morning, really not a big deal. We'll see how it holds up here. I like, the 65-minute with this wide range bar. And, so far it's chopping around here. It's got room to move up. So we'll look at some of the regional banks. The weekly chart is still constructive. It came down, pretty sharply, vertically, but on minor support, rising 20, right, which is the same as the 100 on the daily. So multiple reference points there, stabilization. Let's keep an eye on this to see what it can do. Right? It's got room to go up. So transports, regional banks, uh, Russell. I put that. Oh, here, Russell. Extended, same story, right? So the concept or strategy is to looking for things that have gotten, more or less crushed in the short term or on support. They're stabilizing. Maybe they can catch up a little rotation. So this morning we see this is actually gapping down. So it's not ready. It'll need a little bit more backing and filling. So we got to be patient to see if these things set up. And if they do, whether later today or tomorrow, whatever it is, you know, maybe get some continued bounce. And of course, if they don't, and we see, some negative price action here, there's always the possibility that it could go down or some kind of shakeout. But look, shorting something like this that's down so much, unless we would get some kind of significant reversal, like it did try to go up and it got slammed back down again, it just, doesn't make much sense to be having that kind of a bias to be thinking, to short this. There's no setup anyway. So, but we're always, keeping thoughts out there as to where we might go. Mid caps. So, as most of you know, we use TC2000 for scanning. And so as we look at like a sector like this, we click on it and it fills a watch list with the stocks that are in there, and we can scan that watch list for different setups, wide range bars or 1, 2, 3s and so on and so forth. And we'll look for those individual stocks and possibly, we can trade this if it should set up for some kind of a bounce. Redo's asked me, in a climactic pattern, how do you calculate the possible target? So different ways of doing that. I'm just looking at this. We can say this is climactic. And we could say, okay, how about it goes up to potentially minor resistance? Some would say, well, what about the 20 MA? Well, this thing collapsed. So realize that patterns can happen in different ways. So a climactic pattern is just saying, hey, this thing has moved so far, in a short amount, or not in, it doesn't have to be in a short amount of time. So let me comment on that point. This drop happened and became climactic, but it's the start of a move. Whereas, let's say that this does come up here. We got a short-term target. The 50 is closer, and it comes up into here and then rolls back over again. And we get another down move. Whereas, let's just say this now comes down to here, right? Somewhere in here. You could have like this comes here and all the way back down. And so the second leg down, um, being even more climactic, maybe by then and how it goes down, the 20 starts coming down and it's a little closer. And so that could be a subjective reference point. Um, and then, of course, there's always the other type of subjective reference points, which I don't subscribe to, but Fibonacci retracements, VWAPs, volume, whatever, profiles, what have you. Right. So remember, when things are climactic, by definition, you should, other concepts mean it means that it created a price void. So by creating a price void, why do we trade climactic patterns, which is a counter trend trade? Because it created a price void and is the potential for a counter trend move retracement. But this one was grinding down in an uptrend, and we all thought that this could turn around and would go higher, right? Just patterns like this, the S&Ps and the Qs did, whereas many other things, whether it was mid caps, value, many different sectors, transports, collapsed. Right. So, this was a bit of a shock. And we say the way this came down was igniting a move. Now it's on a lot of support. What's going to happen here? Well, we all want to know, but we're going to need more information. Right now, we're just in the short term thinking, okay, it's on support and it should bounce. So we're looking for some short-term trades. You want to believe it holds and goes sideways. And then what? So what if it does go sideways and holds? So it's okay to believe certain things, right? And then you see what actually happens. But if this doesn't bounce at all, that would indicate continued supply and weakness. Because when things get extended, short-term traders look for trade bounces. And of course, as it comes up to resistance, those that got caught in this move to the downside want to get out of their positions, and we look for reversal patterns to go back down. But if this doesn't bounce, it's the whole idea, and which we talked about. I don't want whatever get into like a short-term class here, but the whole idea of when we get a wide range bar of prices consolidating in the top of the range indicates strength and a continuation of the power move. So this is a power move down. And if this continues to go sideways and stays at the bottom of this bar, it's going to suggest it's going to go down because that was showing it couldn't bounce. So again, supply and demand, so on and so forth. All right, it's getting a little long here. Let me continue. So we always look at spiders and SPX. And so this is where the strength was, Qs and spiders, just for the holiday. Again, I talked about the little consolidation pre-market on Tuesday. And so we had this nice move, hit the 20 MA, minor resistance. Now it's, gapping down about the halfway of that bar, which now creates a trading range. So it's like, why do we want to mess around in this relatively tight trading range? Things could set up as a scalp, of course, intraday, but to think of something of significance happening today, we don't have that kind of a setup here to think that, whereas, we did on Tuesday. So, it's gapping down. We'll just have to see what it does. You see the voids down below. Eventually, I'm thinking, maybe into next year, that's going to find its way down there. So gapping down about halfway. That's why we look at SPY to see what that's doing about halfway. And, I think just based on seasonality, right? We have beliefs, we have thoughts, I think, and we have reality, which is the chart. So I think this has got pretty good odds of the seasonality. They'll buy the dip at some point, and it's okay, but where? What's significant? So down here, my cursors, I don't think it's going down there today, but our put strike is here. All right, so could it get down there today? It could, and there isn't much to hold it I don't think it's going up there today. So everything's like, okay, I think this, I believe that. Now, we see how things set up, as the market opens and what kind of jiggles there are. And, again, just here, it's gapping under this little end of day base. And so there was buying into the close. And we always look at charts as, okay, what does that tell me about traders? What were they believing? And we think this thing is strong as hell. Nobody's willing to sell in a significant way on Tuesday. So let me get long, and it'll probably gap up on Thursday morning. Well, haha, you know, not this time. And so gapping down on that, and there's a little void here where prices could drop down into. So, you know, watch the first 5 minutes or so, and I think the upside is the better bet. Either way, I don't think it's getting down there today anyway. Let me just look at this again since things move around. 35. Yeah, 40 is, I think, still the best one. All right. All right. We looked at interest rates, metals, gold, not doing anything. Crude oil, up a little bit, but just a giant mess. Silver, not doing much of anything. Bitcoin, not doing much of anything. Looks like it's topped out in the short term. So there you have it. We'll look for some catch-up trades and what might be able to bring up the rear, or it's just going to chop around for a while. David saying I got in the room a little late, but just in time to hear you say that you have never seen a certain pattern fail. Yes, that's always of interest, right? And it's the truth. If we could find that every day, but then everybody would know about it and it would stop working or they'd fade it. In here. So this was what we talked about on Tuesday, that we were looking for this to go higher on the 5 minute chart. Again, it's getting late here. I mean, if you want to go back and listen to the recording, in that pre-market I talked about, there was a topping tail there, and I said, what happens bar by bar, suck it up anyway. You had this little move down, and it came right back up again. And so charts display to us beliefs. And so by this breaking down and ripping back up, it suggested there's strong demand. And so you get this bar, this reversal bar here. I call it a money bar because I've rarely seen it ever fail. Well, yours, Nan.
Good morning. Hope everyone had a great holiday and Christmas. New Year's in the middle next week. I think we'll still get this light volume. Yeah, I have a big climate list. So that's, yeah, exactly what we're going to be focusing on. And I posted a bunch yesterday in the in Telegram. But with spiders, Q's ripping. Yeah, I mean, that one's done. I'd consider a call spread for today. But yeah, I mean, all the catch ups Greg talked about. I know we showed USO, but I like XLE, XLB, XLU, SPY-V. Oh, there's so many. I think Debbie gave us SPY-D, Delta. Looks great. Yeah, these are all climbos. Q spiders still weak here, so we're going to be in no hurry to get into things. Let me look at alarms going off. I don't have any earnings. Bucket here. Sammy boy gave me this. It's a retest pattern. Big old kind of rectangle here on the weekly. Igniting breakout. Monthly coming out of a coma. So yeah, I like that. Ideally, 30-minute high. Werby. We bought Friday. I had an up alarm go off, but not much volume. And NNDM alarm. Little buy setup within this igniting breakout, 1, 2, 3 weekly. Also, possibly coming out of a coma. That looks good. Those are all my one more CNC. CNC alarm. I posted this bottoming pattern, and I like that it has to get over this red bar. Small little red bar. Ignore it. But see that was a false breakout on that red bar. So these 3 bars are now superior to just buying that breakout on the 1 bar. You'd still be in it if you did that, because your stop would be under here under the red bar. But now it's better. BKN. Yes, it's a Climo. Yeah, they're all over the place. But see, this one is just nasty, steady selling. But yeah, if it goes to 1160, that's a good trade. Let me just go to my big watch list here now. No order. ADD, I saw a pop in here. Wow, this pop on Friday. See, these holidays mess me up. It's not on Friday, it's Tuesday. This pop on Tuesday, this thing is so crushed. You can't even see the pop. Wait, that makes absolutely no sense to me. This thing popped to 550. I guess the data is scrunched so badly. This would have been a nice entry on Tuesday. Remember our MT live on the turn. This is a multi-bar turn, is a green bar that failed. So it's kind of the second time around. Buy setup on the weekly, breakout on the monthly. Now it's gapping up, a little extended, but that would have been worth a trade on Tuesday. XLB has another Climo. I'm watching. ERJ, this is the airline that they think Russia shot down accidentally. Nothing to do there. And I just saw this one coming out of a coma. There's no volume though. But this would be a very interesting pattern also. Look, a buy setup and a retest. A minor little bear sandwich, buy setup weekly. There's no volume, that's the problem. GME might be back in play. There was some news on that kitty clown. Hood. I posted as a put spread on Tuesday. We did not get filled, but it's still valid if we do. Same with yen. Shorting put spread under here. We didn't get filled. So let's actually, let me see what that was. I will put out an order here pre-market. Let me see what the midpoint is. And then CHN, Greg gave me on Tuesday again. And so I'm wanting to say Friday. 27.25. So the midpoint right now is 22 cents. And so, all right, so yeah, we didn't get filled at 30, but I'm going to go ahead and send an order at 30. I'm just going to send it pre-market, so it's there on the books of the market maker. But here, look at this chin. I made a little chart lesson on it, but daily, weekly, monthly look fantastic alignment. So alignment means the bias of the bigger time frames are in alignment of the bias and pattern that you're trading. So we're trading the daily, which is a breakout. But the weekly, monthly are in alignment, look great. With Bitcoin down, let's take a look at our usual Bitcoin suspects. X is another Climo. X, another Climo. This one's more in the news because of the merger with Nippon. SKYD. I like this gap reversal. Little bear sandwich, 1, 2, 3, buy setup weekly. The cat we talked about. Myrna, possible bottoming pattern. But there's so much junk up here. This was that was a head and shoulder breakdown right there. But now it's holding at the prior low. I don't know. It's potential. See the retest on the weekly? On Netflix was showing some football games yesterday, and Beyonce got everybody excited. What's up, pre-market? But that's actually a bullish pattern now, negating the last week's red bar. Uber, just a consolidation and a downtrend. There's some country that denied their request to buy a competitor. Nova, potential bottoming pattern like Myrna, but I have no idea yet. Whiskey, another bounce trade. I got on my list for a put spread. Baba with China bouncing, little gap reversal here. That's the levered Baba. I would love a put spread, but there's no juice. Let me set a new alarm now at 86. Since it's coming in pre-market. CHN triggering right at the gates. Duke, DUK, utilities are also on my Climo list. So CHN gapping up with the markets gapping down. Oh, I got Baba here in the bottom right. Yeah, China's a go. Let's see how spready it is. It's crazy spreads. The bid is 1250 though. Here, let me warn the ETF letter. All right, the entry was over 1243. So I'm actually going to bid that. I'm going to bid 1244. Let's see. Actually, I'll just 1244, and then I'll add on a pullback. All right, order sent. So Baba, bottom right, is moving. That could be a 30-minute high. Look at the 15, it's beautiful with the pre-market data. So when I trade, gaps and patterns, wow, AD line negative 1400.
China's moving up, Dan.
And
Oracle got bought on the gap down. Keep an eye on that.
this AD line is nasty.
Don't look at it. Scary.
IWM the worst.
Yeah.
Yeah, Oracle would be a great put spread. Yeah, I've been talking about CHN. I'm bidding for it. The spreads are crazy. Postage up alarm. All right, everything's perking here except IWM. So this is the first time in a while that diamonds are not in sync with IWM. Usually they've been crazy related. All right, Oracle 168. Nothing for tomorrow. Next week, the spreads 50 by 94. on Oracle. Are you crazy? NNDM, I'm gonna bid for this. Don't chase. So I'm gonna bid 250. Well, it's kind of wild. Look at that pre-market move. $250 and let it settle down. All right, with that was a nice setup. Accused. I shorted puts myself. Let's see where they're at. Yeah, so even though Qs are down, I'm still more profitable today than I was Tuesday. Why? Time decay. All right, I got the 5/16s. They're 20 cents right now, so I'll just leave them.
Setting an alert on XLE at today's high. It's down right now, but
Yeah,
climactic.
I posted it pre-market.
ULTA.
It triggered. This was in the weekend letter. No, I mean it triggered Tuesday into the close, so we're in it. But yeah, it could be a new trade. Absolutely, absolutely. Let me just set new alarms. Oh, they were be negative. It was positive pre-market. All right, postage. Sam, this is the company taking over the U.S. Postal Service. All right, postage, yeah, buying the stock. So this was a clean hit. 65.21. Yeah, postage looks great. All time frames. Yeah, there was no good juice. Was it you who sent it to me, Sam? Yeah, it was. I didn't know this. There's a couple countries that are over in Europe that have already privatized postal service. So it's not my idea that I've been talking about for 30 years. It's not, I guess, not novel. Or maybe it was, and the other countries did it. All right, Duke alarm. Another Climo, but this one is more of a put spread. It's already up 4 green bars. But look at XLU, Duke. I have an alarm at 53.80. APP. Yeah, I like it. Yeah, let's buy over Monday's time. Check put spread. So the week's high would be 3.
It's spready. The bid ask is spready on that thing. Over $1 at times. You can do it. Just I wouldn't pay the offer. She would really love it.
B Delta alarm, that utility. Got Baba moving. Oh, NNDM triggered right at the open. Yeah, I love when we can move stops, break even in 10 minutes. 10 minutes of triggering.
APP is in the active list. My active list anyway. That comes up on eSignal. Oh, we're not the only ones looking at it, that's for sure. Meta going lower.
Baba should be on the active list.
Which one?
I said Baba should be bottom right. Bottom right of my laptop.
It is.
Apple all-time highs. Their CNBC's, stupid sentiment talking about, party hats, 4 trillion. That's an amazingly bullish 15-minute chart still.
Alex, look at I never saw this one before. Gaps. You mentioned natural gas. It's in the chart last week. KOLD, ultra short Bloomberg natural gas. Doesn't look like the natural gas chart you sent because that's going down. Well, I guess it's a short thing going down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Oklo covered call doing well. I shorted the puts myself for next week, and they're doing well. Yeah, these climbers are still fine if they take out Tuesday's high or whatever I posted. I posted Mick also, but it has to get over that tail. Good. Put spread is still a go. The yen, I did not get filled, but I said that was still good. So now I posted call spread under all these lows. Kind of hit without chasing it. B delta again, utility. Still not ready. All right, none of these weekly options are triggering. Yeah, okay, yeah, you know what, Alex, let me post that to them. NA doing nothing. Oh, wait, it does have volume. That has 600,000 today. Look at these dots on the 15. So it had no volume until today. I'm gonna set an alarm at 8:65. Q's all the way back down. I'm short the Q's. I'm short the 516 puts for tomorrow. And there's still 23 cents to close them right now. That's pretty big, in my opinion. $18 away? I would close them at a nickel. I don't feel like paying 23. So I'm not. And we've got a put spread on this. Still looks great. I wish we got into this thing earlier though. But put spread holding well. IWM had an impressive comeback from its morning weakness. Still nothing to do on the daily. And there's no premium. Look at opens. ANAP we bought on Tuesday. ASC we bought calls. No, it was spready. I converted it to stock. B zone. Shoot, that looked so good yesterday. Tuesday. 8 is fine. Low, we got break even stop. Let's move up the day's low now. 33.74. Oh, that's an ugly kerplunk. Big void now, on the 15 an hour length because of that big move up Tuesday. $77. Alta up alarm. Alta. Oh, good. Already out. Relative strength moving up. Wonder if that's just a light volume, that liquid just so it's just noise on a low volume week. Tapestry, slow grinder. Got everything updated. Good morning. Didn't miss anything.
Silver is up today. This SSRM isn't doing anything, but let's put an alert at today's high.
See anything in these Bitcoin stocks?
You mentioned Kroger last week, Dan?
Yeah, we got stopped out.
Well, probably at the low,
Mm-hmm.
the way it looks to me now.
Probably. When it was relative weakness, on this red day, the markets were flying.
Yeah, I mean, another reason you stopped it out, was just, I guess, based on the market, but and just based on the technicals, it didn't violate support. Just based on another Climo kind of setup. It's not on any support, but set an alert. Alerts don't cost anything. Set an alert on SPX. FM Sprouts Farmer Market. Maybe it gets back, turns around, turns green. But the monthly says it's going to go lower because so many of these things that came down like this is this. I mentioned this morning, start of moves.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like, if this had gone down, say again, and was down at like, 110 or 105, and the same pattern here was have such a high probability of bouncing up.
Yeah, KLJ, that's did a round trip there.
No volume in this one, but kind of a pattern that could bounce up. NGVC, just too low volume. I think so. Well, it's low volume today, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yep, 15's all spotty.
Oracle's still hanging at the high. Not doing anything. Donald Trump is strong today. DJT. Just hanging like it's, near the high of the day, like it's going to go higher.
Yeah, nice 15. Because up alarm. Alta up alarm. You can see over Tuesday's high. It's good to go. Yeah. Yeah. Nice move today. Tapestry up alarm. Oh, I posted this in Telegram yesterday. Oh, Alex, I had dinner with a flyman at his condo last night. He had a little Christmas dinner party. Not looking good. CNC triggering. CNC 6084. Yeah, CNC. But I just had a CMC alarm go off too. Ah, this was a climbing. Yeah, this one was not official yet, but early alarm. CMC, I'll set a new alarm 5070. Oh, it's a grinder. Well, the ETFs are bouncing back. USO might break out next week. Next alarm finally, but I don't like this climb up. It's stabilized, but any lead of alarm? entry. Wait for the afternoon on NUE. I don't like this entry NUE gapping down. Quebec Sierra. It's top of the range, but it's a bullish. If it closes like this, then I'd wait for a 1, 2, 3. Because it's bullish on the 15, so something's going on today, but it's just a horrible entry. It's up 4 bars, resistance on the 200. Unless you were just using a stop today's low, which should hold based on the 15. It's not my style, but if that's the way you wanted to get in the stock, it's fine. By D alarm, I get this